Hey everyone, it's Karen with 𝗬𝗄𝐴 PaperCrafts. In this video, I'm going to create a scrapbook layout for Simple Stories Saturdays, which is a scrapbooking collaboration and YouTube hop hosted by my friend 𝗬𝗲𝗂𝗏, where each month we take our Simple Stories collections and we create layouts. And so y'all be sure and go check out everyone else's videos that is participating in this month's hop. And I'll have links to their YouTube channels in the description below. Okay, so I haven't really been doing a whole lot of scrapbooking lately. And I haven't really been doing anything creative lately. I've had a little bit of a struggle getting myself into my craft room to do anything creative that requires much thinking. I've been dealing with some health issues, nothing serious, just minor things, but it's kind of gotten me down and been really tired and just having to deal with all of that. So I'm really kind of happy to be in my craft room today. I think half the battle is sometimes just getting started. So this scrapbooking hop kind of made me get into my craft room and think about a layout that I could do for you guys. So and that's really good. I think sometimes joining in the hops and making that commitment is a good way to get yourself to be more creative and to do more projects. So I like joining in on the hops. It's a lot of fun also to see what everyone else creates each month. And it's just a lot of fun. So I hope y'all are enjoying the Simple Stories hop and being able to see people using the Simple Stories collections. Simple Stories is actually, I think, my favorite manufacturer. I love all of their stuff, especially their vintage collections. So I was thinking about what I wanted to do for this month's layout, and I remembered that in my last video, I promised you guys that I would use this scrapbooking sketch. And this was a sketch I tried to use for that layout, but the pictures that I chose didn't quite work well with this sketch. So I just decided to put it aside and promise you guys that I would use it. So here it is. And if y'all have not used Page Maps before, it's a really awesome online resource to download free sketches. And I think it's really awesome. They have tons and tons of sketches. You can get really great ideas and inspiration from looking through all of the sketches they have available. And I'll put a link to where you can find Page Maps in the description below and also up here on the screen. But I always like to go out there if I'm want to, look for something specific. And I think at the time I was looking for layouts that use circles. I haven't used circle in a while on a layout. So when I saw this one, I just liked the way that the different elements were layered and it had a lot of empty space. I just thought it was really cool. And so after I decided to use this sketch, the next thing I did was to go look through my pictures to see if I could find two pictures that would work for this sketch. So I have these two pictures here. These were taken on a cruise that I went on with my sister Jeannie and my mom. And I think we were in Bermuda and we came across this bench that had this ice cream on the top of it. I think it was right outside of an ice cream shop. And so we chose to sit there and take some pictures because we thought it was cool. And I think these are really super cute pictures. Okay, so after I picked out the pictures, the next thing that I needed to do was go through my Simple Stories collections to see if I could find something that would work with these pictures. And I had come across this travel collection from Simple Stories. It's called Going Places. And I happened to have the paper, I think it was like just a regular scrapbooking collection kit. It came with 12 double-sided papers and the 12x12 cardstock stickers. And then it also had, it might have been a collector's essential because it also had these two extra things in there. Or it might have been something I got at Tuesday Mornings. Because Tuesday Mornings for a while I had a bunch of Simple Stories collections with extra ephemera and stuff in there. So that's probably where I picked this up from. And so I have the bits and pieces and the journal bits. And then the other thing that I have with this that I did pick this up, now I'm remembering. I got this from Tuesday Mornings because I remember I got this set of cards. So this was the double-sided cards. It's like pocket cards, snap cards is what it's called. And I just took it out of the package, but it's all of these this like Project Life cards. So there's 4x6 and some 3x4 cards. And these are really awesome because you can use these for journaling and as large elements on a page. So I think these are really cool. I would say my only complaint with these Simple Stories snap cards, because I've used these in the past with a couple of other collections, I don't find the quality of the paper that they use that is really that awesome. It's different from the paper that is the 12x12 paper. The 12x12 paper has a really smooth feel, but these feel a little bit cheaper and they're really hard to fussy cut. So although I love the patterns and the designs on there, I don't really like the quality of the paper that they use, but it's still something to help me with creating my layout. So I can't complain too much. So I have to say that I really love Simple Stories. I think the quality of their products is really good. Everything that I've ever gotten from them is awesome, except for this. And it may just be more of a personal preference thing. I just prefer the feeling and the quality of their paper as opposed to the paper that they use for these snap cards. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do after we decided on what collection and what pictures we're going to use, I want to also pick out some papers to use. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use the sketch and try to figure out what paper I'm going to use for each part of this sketch. And one of the really awesome things about using a sketch is it can make your scrapbooking go a lot faster because you have kind of a plan going forward on exactly what you need. So you can look at the sketch and you can say, okay, I need a background paper. We need a large scrap or a whole piece of paper to make these circles. And I'm going to make 2 circles. One of the things you can do with the sketch is you can make 1 circle and then just use a pen and draw a dotted or dashed line around. But I'm going to use 2 circles and just layer them. And then we'll also need a paper that goes from here to over here. You can see the edge of it over here. And then there's a strip of paper here. And then there's another little element here that is like a border. So I'll be picking out all these different papers. And because I've never used this collection before, I don't really have any scraps. But if I did have scraps from a collection, I would try to look through those for these smaller elements. Okay, so one of the other things to think about too when you're trying to pick which collection, I picked this collection mainly for the theme, but I did have other travel collections from Simple Stories, and I'll just show you here. I have this collection here, which is kind of like an outdoor theme, but it's travel themed. It's called the Simple Vintage Traveler, and I could have used this collection, and it would have given this layout a whole another look and feel. But I think that because this bench has this ice cream, it has more of a playful feel to it, the photos. So I didn't really feel like this collection went as well. I also feel like this collection here, which is called Going Places, the colors in these photos match perfectly with the colors in this scrapbooking collection. So that is the reason why I decided to go with this collection over the Simple Vintage Traveler. And okay, so let's go ahead and pick out some paper. And what I chose to do here was to use a solid color for my background. And I just went into my stash and pulled out this cardstock. It's like a vanilla cardstock. I didn't use white because this collection has more of a cream base. Let's see if I can show you here. If I used white, which this cardstock here is more of a white, you can see that this one I think fits it a little bit better. Actually, I could have used either one, but I think because it has just the colors and the different elements are more muted, I decided to go with this green color instead of the bright white. Okay, so we have that for the background. And then for the circle, I wanted to pick something that's not too busy for the circle that's on the top. Now here it's showing a really busy pattern, but I feel like I have so much going on in my pictures and it's going to go right up against this pattern in the circle. I think I want something a little bit more solid for this part. And then I'm going to use something with a busier pattern in the background for the second circle that's behind. So that's what we're going to look for, some paper that is solid and not as much of a busy background for the main circle. So I could potentially use this teal paper here. And okay, so these are the different papers that are in this collection. It's really cute. There's these airplanes, and then we have some cut aparts on that side. And I believe there was 2 of each paper. So here is this same paper here. On the back of that one are these tags. And we have some suitcases. This one here is a pretty solid pattern too, so we could potentially use that for the main circle. Okay, we have some luggage. And then this floral. I thought this floral is really cute. It's got all of the different colors that are in the collection. And then on this one here is a dark blue that's, it's kind of a tone-on-tone map. So that's potentially one that we could use. And then there's this one here with all of the words. We have this one here, which is, it's kind of cool. It's got the different color stripes with the different landscapes. And the back of that one has these geotags. And I think that's all the paper. Yeah, that's pretty much all the paper that is in this collection. And then I did want to bring in some of the orange, more of the orange, because in the picture, we're sitting on that bench. Where'd the picture go? I just thought it would be cool to bring in more of the, even though the bench is more brown, it was really picking up on this orange. So I thought it would be cool to bring in more of this orange color. And this paper came from another collection from Simple Stories. This was from the Let's Go collection. So it's got these cards on the back and then this map that's orange. Okay, so let's see. I think what I'll do is make this the background. And then I don't really know that I want to use this really dark color. I want this layout to be a little bit lighthearted. And this is really a heavy paper, so I don't think that I would want to use that one. But I think these two papers right here are really cool. And I could do something where I make this the first circle and then this one goes on top like that. So you just get like a little bit of a peek of the floral. And then we could use the solid paper here. This is a teal paper. I could probably use that in the background there. So that would be under and it would go across. And then we need to have this little strip of paper right here. So I'm almost thinking that it would be better to have this paper as the strip going across and then the orange paper in the background. So let's see how that would look. Yeah, I really like that, the orange paper there. Okay, so what y'all think? I think this is a good combination of colors and it works really well with the background. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is I will go ahead and cut out all of the elements to the size that they need to be. And this sketch does not have measurements on it, so we have to kind of do a little bit of guessing here. But this photo is 3.5 by 5. And so it looks like it's about the same height as this strip of paper here. So this goes all the way almost to the edge. So this is probably, I would estimate this is a 5 by 8 piece of paper right here. I'm just guessing. If you're not quite 100% sure, make it a little bit bigger than you think it should be. You can always cut more off, but you can't add to it. So I might make this a 6 by 9 and then just trim it down if I need to. Or it actually could be 10 inches because that looks like maybe more like an inch or two there. Maybe a couple of inches. So this might be like a 5 by 10 or 6 by 10. The circle appears to be about maybe 7 inches, 7.5 inches. And then this is another whole inch bigger. Or yeah, I would say I would make it about an inch bigger. So we can make that 7.5 and 8.5. So you have some white space here, white space up here. So you would have to say it's 12 minus 4 inches. So I would say, yeah, that's probably like an 8.5 inch circle and then a 7 or 7.5 inch. I might go ahead and make it 7.5 and 8.5 just to make sure that it's big enough to fit all of these elements here. Okay, so it's kind of a guessing game when you have sketches like this that don't have measurements on it. But you can kind of think about it this way. Look at your empty space and try to figure out how much of the space here is used. You could also probably take out your ruler and measure it and try to figure it out that way. But I just like to look at it and I'll just take a guess. And I'm usually do okay with guessing, and I usually like to make it a little bit bigger. Now with the circles, if you make the circle too big, it's hard to cut out a new circle out of that same paper. Although with the circle cutter, you might be able to do that. So I'm going to use this circle cutter from Creative Memories to cut the circles. I haven't used this tool in a while, but it's really awesome. You can cut circles from, I think it goes from 3 inches up to 12 inches. So it's been a really long time since I've used this circle cutting tool in one of my videos. So I thought I would give you guys a little bit of a demonstration on how to use this tool. You can get this from Creative Memories. It's still available. And I'll put a link in the description below if you want to shop with me. I am a Creative Memories advisor. I love their tools. They're really awesome. So this circle cutter, you can pick the size of the circle with using this adjustable dial here. And you can create circles from 3 to 12 inches. And let me bring this up so you can see it. See the measurements there. And you can just go ahead and bring this down to whatever size circle you want to cut. So I'm going to try the 8.5 circle first. So I'm just going to set the dial on there. Okay, so if we look at the reverse side of this tool, we have this part right here. This is what's going to hold onto your paper. It's got a little bit of a point here. When you push this, it's going to press into the paper and hold this tool in place. And then as you are holding onto this, this is the cutting part over here. You're going to press this button and then you're going to go around. And when you press this button and push down, it makes the blade pop out. So I don't know if y'all can see that. You have to push the button and push this big button down at the same time. It does require a little bit of effort, but once you practice this a few times, it's really an easy tool to use. So let's go ahead and cut out some circles, and I'm going to start with the larger circle here. And I have a glass mat here that is the glass board from Glassboard Studios, but in order to make sure that my blade doesn't get dull, I'm going to use this mat. This is a, what do they call this? I can't think of the name of it. It's the self-healing mat. This is also from Creative Memories. And this is a 13 by 13 mat. So it makes it really easy to cut large circles. You don't have to worry about going off the edge of the mat. Okay, so what we're going to do here is you want to put this part right here in the center of where the circle is going to be. And then I like to do a test run. So I'm going to press down on this, and we're going to go around in a circle like that. And then you can see whether or not your circle is not going to go off the side. So if we put it over here and you try to go around, see it's going off the edge over here, you don't want to do that. So we're not cutting at all, we're just practicing. So we're just going to practice where you want the circle to be. So I'm going to go here, about maybe right here. And if you want to save on paper, you could kind of go off to one side just so that, you know, just to make sure that you can use this part of the paper over here for something else. So, and then the same here, we can make it go into a corner there. All right, so now that I've got this tool positioned, you just want to make sure that you firmly hold down there, because that's going to keep the tool on the paper and it won't move. And then we're going to push this white button in and then push the blue button down, and then you're just going to go around. And if you have to let your hand off, you know, because you can't go under, just reposition and just hold on to it. And if you want, you can go around again just to make sure you cut through the whole circle. And easy as that. How cool is that? Okay, so let me go ahead and get the other paper we were going to use to cut the circle. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, so for this circle, we want to make it slightly smaller. And so I'm going to use this measurement guide here. We're just going to unscrew this. We're going to adjust this down to 7.5. And then it's not hard, it's just I can't see because I'm old. So I was having a hard time seeing the ruler there. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to figure out where exactly on here we want to position this so that it does not go off the page, but we can kind of be in the corner over here, or even maybe down here. Let's see. Okay, right there. So I'm going to press down. How cool is that? Super cool. And a really awesome thing about this tool is if your blade gets dull, you can get a replacement blade. Just purchase the blade and you just pop that out and put a new one in. And easy as that. So I think to replace the blade, probably just press that button and this opens up. You take the cartridge out and put a new one in. So super easy tool. Okay, so I finished cutting out all of the additional elements that I needed for this layout, and I wanted to share with you the dimensions for everything, just in case you want to follow along and use a sketch to create a layout, and maybe share with you some things that I might do differently if I was to choose to use this sketch on a different layout. Okay, so let's start off with the circles. The larger circle is 8.5 inches, and the smaller one is 7.5 inches. This large orange piece of paper is 5 by 10 3/4 inches. The teal strip of paper here is 1 by 10 1/4 inches, and then the border strip is 10 1/4 inches. So the changes that I might make if I was to do this sketch again, or to use a sketch again for another layout, I think that I would create the border strip slightly bigger, so make it 10.5 inches, because I didn't realize this until after I cut everything out. But the border strip actually hangs off the edge of that teal paper on either side, and I think that looks really cool. So if I was to do this again, I probably would make that a little bit larger. The other thing that I might change if I was to use a sketch again is to make the circles larger. I think that having the circles larger would have given me more space for the photos and just everything to be, and to be able to see the circles a little bit more. I would also probably make the circles closer in size, so that you're not seeing as much of the background here for this floral paper. I do like, one of the reasons why I chose to make them 1 inch apart was because I really wanted to see a lot of that floral pattern. So for this layout, I think it works okay, but to get the look and feel for this sketch, probably a thinner border would have been better. So depending on the paper that you're using, whether or not you want to show more of the paper underneath, you might want to make that bigger or smaller. And so if I was to do this again, I might make the circles 9.5 or 10 inches. And then say if I made the circle 10 inches, I might make the smaller circle 9.5 inches, so that there's a thinner strip of paper all the way around, if that makes sense. And it would just give this a whole nother look and feel. But I really do like the way it turned out. I think it's really cute and playful, and it goes along with my pictures really well. Okay, so the border punch that I used was this one here. This is from EK Tools. It's just a scallop border punch. That's the punch that I used. It would have been cool to have something like this that kind of looks like, I don't know, really uneven, kind of loopy looking, but I don't have anything like that. I can look through all my punches and I didn't have anything that looked like that. So, but that would have been a really cool look had I had a punch that would have created that effect. Okay, so this was the closest one I had, which was the scallop border. And then the next thing I was thinking about, I could actually mat the photos and create a little bit more of a separation between the pattern paper and the background. But in the end, I decided not to mat the photos. Typically I do mat my photos, but I just like the way that it looks. And I think the photos pop out enough from the background that I don't really have to create a photo mat behind there. And it's really cool. This is kind of like a ledge. And so the pictures are going to rest right here on this ledge. So in this sketch, there's basically only 2 embellishment clusters. There's one on this side of the layout, kind of at the top, and then there's one over here in this corner. And I went through all of the different embellishment packs that I have here, and I pulled out some things to use on this layout, kind of played around with it a little bit. So what we have here is this 3x4 project or snap card. It's like a project life card. And my plan was to tuck this in right here. And I like this because it adds more of the yellow and brings that up to that part of the layout. Okay, and then even though there's only 2 clusters on this layout, I typically like to have 3 just because I think it balances a little bit more. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to have a cluster on this side here. I found this ice cream cone, which I thought was really cute. And then I also found this camera. It says photo op, which I thought was perfect because that was kind of the whole thing, was the photo op. And then we have this here, which says going places. This is going to be my title, and I'm not exactly sure where we're going to put this, but maybe somewhere over here. And we have this arrow. I might put this down here. And then after putting some elements down here on either side, when I look at this layout, the biggest white space that I see, or empty space, is over here in this corner. So I thought it'd be really cool if I made an embellishment cluster over here. And so I'm going to take this tag that I found, which says bag tag. We have some florals there. I have this, actually I think the florals I put down here somewhere. I don't know, I have to think about that. I have this heart. Okay, so might do something like that. And I think that's really cute. So I don't know if I'm going to put the title over here. I might put it over here. This is where the title was originally on the sketch, although the title is a much larger element. I think it looks really cute here, so I think the title will be Going Places. And we'll have the photo op over here with this arrow pointing in toward the pictures, something like that. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to go back and glue everything in place, and then we'll come back and share with you the finished layout. Okay, so I've finished adhering everything down to the layout, and I think it turned out super cute. I did add some dimension by using this foam tape. This is the Scotch 3M foam tape, and I added it to the photo op and also the ice cream cone, and then also the edge of these flowers. And I like using the foam tape to add dimension because it helps with layering and building your clusters. And so you can see here, I just put the foam tape on one edge of the flowers, and then this part is glued directly down to my layout, to the picture. And by doing that, it adds interest because this over here is popped up, but it allows me to layer the photo op on top of it. And just to give it a little bit more interest and dimension, so to show you that. It just makes building the clusters easier when you're adding in the foam tape, and makes it look a little bit more natural. Okay, and then this cluster up here, I have this bag tag, and then I popped up this little heart with some foam tape. And then this is one of the stickers from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. So I have the sticker sheet here, and I added a few of the stickers onto my layout. Also added this sticker here which says Adventures Ahead. And then this one down here which says Remember This. And then let's see what else. The bottom part of this bag tag, I cut that off and then added it down here to the bottom. And that just kind of covers up this edge. It just makes it look a little bit more interesting. And I like to cut my embellishments apart if you're not going to see that part of it. And it actually gives you more embellishment. So if you have something that's going to be hidden, you can try to cut that off and then use it somewhere else on your layout. And I think that looks really cute down there. And then over here in this cluster, we have this little girl that's popped up with some foam tape, and then this one of the 3x4 cards. And then the title, which is Going Places, and this arrow is popped up with some foam tape. And this little heart here is one of the stickers. And then we have another heart here that's also a sticker. So that's what the layout ended up looking like. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is just add in some enamel dots. I just think there's a lot of white space here. I thought about doing splatters or some kind of mixed media, but I'm just going to keep it simple and just add a few of these enamel dots. Now this comes from a collection called Best Year Ever, but it has similar colors to this collection Going Places. So I think it's going to be the perfect thing to use. So I'll start off by putting some up here, and I used to really spend a lot of time trying to put these embellishments or enamel dots on my layout, and now I just kind of put them down, you know, not really pay much attention to where I'm putting them. I do like to use 3 different colors and 3 different sizes, and so I'm going to go ahead and we'll use, let's see, the blue one down here, a medium pink, and then I'll do the green. And then I'll put some up here at the top. So we'll do a yellow, a large orange, and then the small pink. Okay, and then once I get my enamel dots down, I do like to look at it just to see if it looks okay, if I want to move them around a little bit. I don't press down on the enamel dots really hard so that I can still move them around if I decide to do that. And so I'm just going to shift this around just a little bit. And Okay, so I did change out a few of these. I took the orange ones off. I thought the orange was a little bit bright and added more of this olive green color. And I think that looks a little bit better. So let me go ahead and hold this up so y'all can get a close-up of this layout. And I hope y'all enjoyed seeing this scrapbook process video. And if you did, please give this video a like, because it helps me know which videos y'all like to watch on my YouTube channel. It also helps YouTube to know what videos to recommend to other viewers. And if you'd like to see more videos and you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as part of my community. Okay, you guys, y'all take care. Hope y'all have an awesome weekend, and I hope to see you next time. Bye now.